time.
So that's a very good time, a very good way to start our life. Hello, Eva.
Hi, Zoila.
Hello. Do you want to give a little introductions to our first live?
Yeah. Hi, guys. So this is our first live. This is Guided 888, a podcast coming out in September. And today we wanted to introduce ourselves and explain what it's all about. So yeah, Zoila, would you like? Hello, we've got one person in here. Hi.
Hey.
And yeah, Zoila, do you wanna? I think we'll go with introductions first, so people know who we are, and then go into the vision.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind you that we're gonna be going live, or we are actually live on YouTube, Instagram at this very moment. But if for any reason you missed it, you're more than welcome to watch or rewatch the live. That's gonna be on our Instagrams and on our YouTube channel as well. It's the same name, Guided 888 or Guided 888. And yeah, we're gonna be happy to answer your questions and to collaborate with you in the future as well. So yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, so hi guys, I'm Eva, and I am one of the co-hosts of Guided AAA. I grew up in several countries, so I consider myself a TCK, which is a third culture kid. And yeah, what inspired me was just this whole spiritual awakening that I had recently. But I would say that my first spiritual awakening happened a few years ago when I started looking into topics like self-love and mindset and the law of attraction. And so that's kind of, I think, my initial kind of interest grew into it. But I didn't really go deep until last year when I had a very difficult time in my life. And I suddenly went really deep into like my inner self. And I think it sparked this like healing journey, which I did kind of touch upon last time, the first like initial spiritual awakening. But now I've gone deeper and really understanding how like my whole world shifted, realizing how important I am in this world, but like how we all are actually spiritual soul beings and that there Zoila. And yeah, and when I was struggling last year, I just want to thank Zoila for her just companionship during that time, because I was in a very low place and we started chatting more often. We knew each other actually beforehand, but we started talking about different topics like numerology, reincarnation, yeah, just like spiritual stuff. And suddenly we started this journey, even though we're going on a separate journey because we're on different levels, I guess, of our, spirituality, but we're kind of going in the same direction at the same time. So it's still very individual, yet so bonded in a way. So I am so grateful for Zoila to be my co-host. And yeah, so that's how this spiritual podcast is happening, because of this bond that we've created. So Zoila, go on.
Thank you, Eva. That was really touchy, actually. I was like remembering all these times that we had together. For those who are watching this video, this live, we had a very difficult time for the lockdown and when all the COVID story happened. So that kind of helped us to strengthen our bonds as friends and as sister, because now we call ourselves sisters, okay? So yeah, a little bit about me is, well, I am originally from the Dominican Republic. Another thing is, if you see me changing my side to over there and then here, is because I have two cameras. We are broadcasting to YouTube, and that's my camera for YouTube, and in Instagram, and this is my camera. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Well, not that much. Anyways, continuing with my background, I was born in the Dominican Republic. I have heritage, Spanish heritage as well. My main language is Spanish. As you can listen here, I also speak English and other languages. Um, since I was little, I had this little bound to spirituality. However, I didn't understand much what spirituality means because I thought everything was normal. I thought everybody was having the same encounters, the same sights, the same experiences that as a child I didn't comprehend. However, with the time, I realized that I was kind of having a special journey, and back then I didn't know about them. But to continue with that, music, acting, and all sorts of artistic skills helped me to channelize or to entertain myself as a being in this earth. I am a singer, a songwriter, I am a model, I work on TV, I am a background actress, I am an actress. So I am involved in many artistic um, branches of what we call entertainment, and through that through those skills, I feel like it's easier for me to kind of accept that not everything is within the norms that as humans we call our lives. Um, my dad and my mom, well, my mom was a religious person, so I grew up in a very involved in Christianity. I'm not saying that I'm religious. I used to be, but at this very moment, I understand that it's really important to understand that everybody is accepted within the spirituality and how I call it God. Okay, so I am really happy to have this broadened understanding that it's not good to judge. And because of all the things that I've been through, I understand that there is value on that. Hey, hello, hola, hello, thank you. And it has built up my personality and my comprehension to understand. It's redundant, but to understand that there is more in this life than just breathing and exhaling air. Like we have to be able to grasp ourselves, grab our life, and try and find what's our path in life. And coming to that path is why Ava and I, decided to create this group. First of all, because we were guided, and second of all, because we have this path. Yeah, go ahead, Ava.
Yeah, so just when you were talking about judgment, it really resonated with me because I felt like this was one of the things that was kind of like why last year was very struggling for me. It was just this whole judgment of people like choosing sides and trying to see things in a very dualistic kind of viewpoint, like either this is right or wrong, there's no middle, and it's like if you're not on my side then you're on that side. And it really like kind of hit me hard because I'm like I couldn't just understand like how people were just like choosing and separating themselves. And so I think that's one of the things that sparked that spiritual journey for me. Definitely. Because it was just like eating my soul. I'm like, what is going on here? I'm like, can't you guys see this is happening? And so I kind of dived into this whole thing about like, well, what does it mean to judge and what is non-judgment? And then actually realizing this whole new perspective that actually everything is kind of a reflection of what we think about ourselves. And this is like the biggest shift that I had. And now whenever I go through life, when something triggers me, I'm like, what is it within me? Why does it trigger me? And I'm never ever looking at it's like, oh, it's your fault, it's triggering me because this person posted this on I don't know, Instagram, let's say. But more like, okay, what does this say about me? What is my relationship to this post? And this is why I love spirituality so much, is because we can take this and like transmute it or like transform our thinking and not have that judgment towards others. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
Carry definitely. And I think there is value on thinking that way. I mean, let's think about this is a great, big, huge family where variety is accepted. Unless you are affecting somebody else's, as in killing them or taking their rights away, there's no reason why you will go against a variety or somebody that's going different or thinking different from what you think. Now, here's the thing. We have to be able and capable of holding the truth. So what's the truth? Truth is that through love, we should accept everybody. Through love, we should understand, try and understand the other's point of view. So that is, I think, one of the main keys that we are given once we when we do the meditations and the, our meditations and things that are guiding us, spirits that are guiding us at this very moment.
So you wanna go into that, like what inspired us to guide people. So we kind of talked about the inspiration, about like the non-judgment and how we want to bring, in a way, peace, I guess, or like at least look from a different perspective.
Definitely. Yeah.
And so you started talking about the truth, and about like our meditations.
Yeah.
So you wanna talk about how we got. So I already mentioned that we started talking about all these different things, and we strengthened that kind of friendship by talking about and supporting each other through these difficult times that we had.
Yeah.
And then we went into that meditation practice that you just mentioned. And do you want to talk about how we came from being friends to meditations to the podcast? You want to go through like the little things that went through?
Sure. So it is a long story, and you know that. However, we kind of bond very quickly because we felt that there was more than only friendship to find out or to help others through the mediums of meditation, spirituality. It was quite of an easy friendship, isn't it? Because we met each other a long time ago through collaborations in projects.
I remember it. We were doing a short film, and we were military people, like soldiers.
We were soldiers
in the mountains.
Yeah.
We were all dressed up in like military clothes, and we had like, I guess, weapons as well. Like obviously not real ones, but yeah. We were basically running around in a very windy and cold like hills and mountains in Wales. And that's how we met.
Yeah. So that's how we met. We met through a project where we both actresses, and we were soldiers in a very remote location, which was really remote. Funnily enough, Eva, I live around that location.
Yeah, you live quite close to there.
Yeah. Anyways, it was meant to happen. And then we collaborated as models as well for the stills in Red Riding Hood. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah.
And then we collaborated in another one as well. I can't remember. It's just we were meant.
Yeah, but we didn't know each other that well.
No.
Until last year.
Exactly. So it was an easy friendship though, because we kind of we went together very easily, as in our vibration met each other, and kind of we just flow with the flow. But it's not only, it didn't stop back then, is it? Because we met, but we didn't immediately become really good friends. It was like with the time.
Year.
Yeah.
There was like a year until like we started talking more.
Yeah, so we started talking more, and we weren't even involved. I mean, I've been involved in spirituality, but not as deep as I am now. And my willingness to find out what is real. Like, as I said before, I'm not religious. I'm not religious at all. I'm not. But I do believe Jesus Christ had a very good example for me to follow even Buddha has a very good example for me to follow. And more of these martyrs, even the same Mary Magdalene too, and many other people that you could speak about, that has given us a very good impact and input on how to live this life. So I am one of those people that we call go and get it. I can't believe in something and not do something to see if it's true. And that's what makes me go more into let me find out what Jesus Christ was talking about. Let me find out what Buddha was talking about. Let me find out what Mary felt when that angel came. I mean, the Bible is full of all these incredible things: angels, people healing, people getting their sight back, people floating, flying souls, uh, people on the mountain seeing things, lights on the sky. And now we are like, no, those are, stories. That's how people is looking at that, really. But really, that's real. For real. And that's what makes me feel like I want to find out more. I want to see what's that about. I can't just be a human with a huge potential and no use it. And that's our story. That's why we are here. That's why Guided is here. Yes, say that again.
I can add to that. Like, just that everything you just said is that passion that you've got about knowledge and finding out the truth.
Exactly.
And you've had that from since I've met you, you've had this incredible thing. Yeah. And then I think that's why I was into meditation, and I was into just like, I don't know, I feel like since I've started meditating with you, it went to a whole new level. Like before it was more like just, I don't know, guess calming yourself down and like being not judging your thoughts. And it was kind of those basic meditations of just being grounded again.
Yeah.
But once I started doing it with you and talking about like different things like telepathy and like, numerology and reincarnation, suddenly it's like, hang on, let's try these intuitive skills. Like, let's actually try this. So we kind of sat down to meditate, and it was just incredible. Like it was taken to the whole new level, I think. And that's why I love our collaboration or our bond, because it's like you allow me to grow so much more. And then after like having conversations after our meditations, like I would start reading a lot of books, because I like reading and I like getting knowledge from books.
Yeah.
And I love how you are always like, no, look within, your guides will tell you. And I love it because sometimes you would find something out from your guides, and then I'm like, oh my God, I read that in like a spiritual book, and then it kind of confirms what you received. Yeah. And then it also gives me like a heads up that what's written in the book is actually like in a way correct or the truth. So I really love that collaboration. So what happened is we started like a daily meditation practice, where we sat down at first and we would ask our guides, like we would set an intention. So it wasn't just sitting in meditation and waiting for like aha moment. We came with a pure intention to, for example, grow or learn. And because we were actually, first of all, we started just like telepathy, wasn't it? It was literally just sending each other colors. That's where we started, colors and numbers. And every time we were starting to find like it was working, or at first it was like very like random, but like there was always a moment where we were like on the same page every time we did it, and we were like so like excited, surprised about it. And so then we were like, wow, how can we take this further and learn, like how can we advance our communication? So we started with telepathy, but we thought, how can we take it to the next level within our bond? So what happened was we then said, okay, let's ask our guides to teach us how to do this. And what we received was beyond what we were thinking. Because we were thinking it was just going to help us communicate. But what we were shown is how everything is connected, how everything is like communicating on a whole different like level with the mind and how we can receive. And that's why I love that quote by Rumi, and I keep posting it everywhere. It's like, what was it? There is a voice that doesn't use words. Listen. Listen, because when we meditate, we get all these like images or like words or stuff like that, but it's like there is no person talking to us physically. Yeah, it's beyond
imagination.
Yeah, the physical.
Yeah, exactly. Beyond physical.
So that's how we came to this vision of, we were compiling so much information in our notebooks that I thought, why not actually write a book and put this all in?
Yeah.
And so we started a document where we would add our little notes in there. Yeah. And then I thought, how about we start already giving this information, because we were just like, wow, this is so cool. This information is so cool. We want to tell people about it. And so I guess the podcast idea came to life because we're like, let's start talking about this already, rather than waiting 2 years before we publish a book.
Yeah.
So that's what's happened. And so here we are today.
Awesome.
In this moment.
Awesome. And then something that maybe you've forgotten to say, or maybe you said it, but I'm gonna repeat it. It just brought so much joy and so much when you're not sure about something and then you see it and you prove it, so much joy on that way. Because when we started doing the meditation at the beginning, it was a bit iffy, because we were starting with a telepathy type of meditation, as in trying to send messages to each other. And then at some point we kind of stumble on the things that we have in our minds, not seeing that the messages were so clear and easy that we didn't think, no, that's not the message that she's sending, or that's not the message that Zoila is sending, or Eva is sending. And I remember that I used to think, but it cannot be that easy. But really, the beauty of this life is that anything that's spiritual have an easy choice, and it's easy. The thing is that in this life we've been told that if it's not difficult, it's not worthy and it's not true, when it's all the opposite. Like in the spirituality world, in the spiritual world, things are quite easy. It's just simple. There's no complex thing more than the same thoughts that you have.
It's the ego, isn't it?
Yeah, so we put that together. And after we finish our joint meditation, we started sharing the insights of what we found. And then we moved on to a second step. And that second step, I'm going to start, but I know, Eva, that you have loads and tons of things to say too. Because it was the beauty of our starting point. It was like, okay, we are after something here. Because I remember, well, if it's telepathy is real, and we are, I'm not gonna say 100%, we weren't correct 100%. At the beginning it was more like a 20, 30, until it increased like 80, something like that.
We're still on our journey. It's not perfect yet.
Yeah, it's not perfect, because we are still human, trying to understand our fullest potential. So at this very moment, we just trying to understand how to increase that power. But we are being guided, and we feel it. We have met with loads of entities. And let's say this, we are not religious, and we are disclaiming, you don't have to believe what we say. You don't have to believe what we are sharing with you. However, we will ask you to go and find the truth if you see or if you think that what we're saying isn't true. At least take us with an open mind, an open heart, and see what is true. Because all we have here are things that have been proven by us that is true. And we are doing it with the best intent to guide and help others, right? And that's how we move on to our next step in meditation. As in, it was so amazing because we weren't expecting anything at all. We weren't expecting anything. And then we find out that we could communicate freely with each other, that we were being trained by spiritual realities, that we were interacting with things that we didn't even know. I remember when we were told, Ewa and Zoila, that stillness was a thing. And the things that we go through through being still. And it is like, I mean, being quiet give you results. How crazy can that sound? How crazy can that be? But really, that is true. Like when you're meditating, we find out that if you're still, you'll receive lots of messages related to the need that you are applying on that moment. So yeah, I know that there are tons of things, incredible things that we are gonna be talking to you all, and that's why we are gonna ask you to keep your eyes peeled because this is gonna be super interesting. Ava.
Yeah, so like this whole, like we're just you might see that we're very passionate about this topic, and so we've been receiving this guidance, and now we just see the opportunity to step in and in a way make a change so that everyone can really look within themselves and find that guidance and find their true potential and find themselves, because I think a lot of people don't look within for the answers, and they don't like trust themselves, and they kind of don't know what it means to be authentically them. And I think it's something that we're really, really passionate about, is to empower people to make their own choices. So that's why we say, listen to maybe with an open mind, be curious, but like you have to find your own truth with what we're saying. So if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it just won't. So like that's why disclaimer, and also that this isn't religion. We are actually telling people to think for themselves, to find what really matters to them and create the life that they want by being authentically them. So this podcast is all about, we are being guided to inform you of how you can fulfill, your passion, and how you can live your life the way you want it to be. Yeah, exactly. And not having to feel like you are in a box, because I think a lot of people, they have this tendency to like, this is my identity, and I can't change. Like because of this person, or because this is happening in my life, and so I can't do this. But one of my like mottos or like favorite things to say is, you always have a choice.
That's correct.
And so I always remind myself this, because I always have a choice. Like even if it's, maybe I can't change the world like in one go, like say like stop something. But what I can do is, I always have a choice of how I react and how I interpret a situation.
Sure.
So even when you're struggling, you can have, let's say, a growth mindset, or thinking like, this is going to help me. I know I'm struggling right now, but what's the lesson? Or you could be like, oh my God, this is stopping me from doing anything I want. So the whole point of this is to grow as a person, as an individual. We might not be able to like change like a whole group, but once we start within ourselves and like if we change ourselves, we change our reality. So that's what we're going for. And so we want to make this quite digestible. And I know it may seem like airy fairy, which I get a lot of response from some of my friends, is like, oh, manifestation is just like thinking about it, and you think the next day is going to happen. It's not like that. People are thinking, it's like all this positivity and all this like airy fairy stuff, spirituality. It's not something you can grab. It's not something you can really, see.
Yeah, definitely.
So what we're trying to do is kind of uncover those stereotypes or these conceptions that people have in their head and make it digestible information, and really like actually how you can apply it, like how you can apply meditation and actually then become an empowered human being.
Correct.
And how you can take steps in your life to create that reality for yourself. So we are here to kind of, in a way, build a community of self-empowered individuals who then can hold their lights and
Correct.
shine, because I believe strongly, even though some people might think, you know, when I say I'm doing work on myself, they might think, oh, you're just working on yourself, but you're not like there's people out there struggling and you're just looking at yeah, this is just something I've been going through last year, is I feel like, because I know it's like, oh, you're just working on yourself, you're not actually like helping other people, like, you know, you're selfish. But actually, this is how I see it, is when you actually dive deep into your own shadows, or like the things, your limiting beliefs, or what you think of the world, or look at what triggers you, and then realize that there's something deeper within yourself. So if something triggers, it always means something about yourself, how you see yourself as a human being. So that's why I want to shift that thought and bring it back to yourself, so that when you actually heal yourself, I think a lot of people are running around and they don't love themselves, and so they're looking for outward validation. But what we're doing here is we're trying to convey here that you are powerful, that you are power, that you are love. And when you are love, and when you accept even, you know, those things that you find ugly about yourself, but you actually accept them and you love yourself, suddenly you don't look outward anymore of like validation anymore. It's suddenly you're just like, I am love, and it's like this calmness washes over you, and you're just love. And so when you're love, you radiate love, because when you see someone really happy, you might, you know, happiness is contagious. And so if you're around someone who's very secure in who they and know who they are, and, you know, don't expect anything from other people, then suddenly you're really drawn to this person. And so because they're shining their light, that's what we're talking about, light, is because they're being themselves. And when people are in themselves, it's like you feel comfortable around them, you feel the love. They don't even have to say anything, but you just feel this kind of energy. And that's why we want to begin with you, because you're important and you deserve to be loved, and you deserve to step into your light. And when more and more people step into their light, there is more light on this planet. And so what we're trying to do, it doesn't matter who you are or whatever, because we think deeper. We're a spiritual being. This is just a vessel that we're embodying in this lifetime. You could have been someone completely different in a different lifetime. And so this is why we want to build a community of empowered individuals, so that every single one of you can hold that light for someone else. But you got to start doing it for yourself first.
That's correct.
You can before anyone else can feel that energy, you got to feel that energy. So that's like the big vision that we have, is to just empower you as an individual.
And here's the thing, right? Parting from that point, I see the human being in this way, and I've been shown the human being in this way. So any coincidence with things that I've been taught is not a coincidence, it's because it is that way. Human beings are like this powerful, let's put, energy that is contained in a little glass. Now here's the thing. The glass will shape that energy. Let's suppose that energy is water, is equivalent to water. The glass will shape that water to the shape of the glass. But if you pull that water, let's say in another type of bottle, in a cup, that cup will shape that water in the shape of the inside of the cup. Now the mistake is to think that the shape itself is the only shape that water could have. And it's not like that. We are free to choose which container we're going to be using throughout the life, depending on the situation that we are facing. As in, we have the choice to have a shape matching to your freedom. As in, you are water, you could be ice, you could be smoke, you could be hot water, you could be cold water, you could be a hydrolytic water, those ones that give electricity. The faster it goes, the better it runs. I mean, water is something that could be translated into many other circumstances, situations, reality. So if you are water, don't get comforted, don't get happy just being in a container that wouldn't fit your needs, your path in life. So that's why we are here. We are going to share with you how to get or how to free yourself from that container that you've been throughout all this journey on this life. Like this coffee, this water has decided to be coffee, right? And I like coffee and I drink the coffee, but once it's in my throat, it's not coffee anymore. You see what I mean? So it transforms into something else. Now, that's the reason why we are here. We are helping ourselves, and through ourselves, we try to help you too to see the truth, to see outside the box, because we've been boxed in this earth for so many years, and so many people like Buddha, like Jesus, like Mary, like other many martyrs throughout the years have been telling us the truth. Now, we have the same power, but we choose to use it or not. So that's what we've been told. We have the same power, we have a choice. You use it or you hide it. If you hide the reality of your potential, like Eva was saying, we are full of potential, we are powerful, which means we are full of power. We are capable of doing things that are only made in our dreams. And this is the reality. Dreams are real. Dreams are like the kindergarten of our life. It's just your dream in kindergarten. Bring it to the first grade, to the second grade, and you'll see it growing. But dreams aren't just imagination. And just to say the least, anything that's been created started with a simple imagination. So it just depends on how much you want to involve yourself to believe that you're more capable than you were told, that we were told when we were born. So that's why we are here. That's why Guided is here. That's the reason we are here. And we would like to build this community that my sister Eva was mentioning before, a community where we accept each other exactly as we are, but with the simple difference that we know the truth, our growth, true or spiritual reality around ourselves, and the truth that we are all accepted and loved exactly as we are. So yeah, that is a very good understanding of what we are gonna be doing. If you want to add anything else, Ava?
Yeah, I was just thinking, like when you said who we are, and I just wanted to say the words that we are more than just the physical, that we are spiritual beings living a temporary human experience.
Ah, that's another thing.
That's why we're more than just. That's why we say there are no limitations, because we are actually so much more than just this physical body, and that's why we kind of then listen to that inner guidance, because there's something more inside here and the reason why we're here, and that's why we listen, because we want to know our own truth. So we want to, the whole point of this will be to relay the information that we receive for you guys.
Exactly. So just to recap, we are on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and many other platforms with the name of Guided 888, as in GUIDEED 888. GUIDED 888. So you can find us.
Yeah, so find us on the social media. We're starting, our first episode comes out on the 17th of September. That's when things will begin for real, the first episode. And we're planning on every Friday doing an episode, and then we're going to do Saturday lives every week as well, where you can ask us questions about the podcast or anything else that's important. But yeah, so that's what Saturday lives are for. Today was just an introduction, and yeah, I mean that's everything I want to say, unless you have anything else to say. Are there any questions? Because I saw someone just commenting.
Yeah, they were commenting. Yeah, they were asking me to sing a bit after I said I'm a singer. A couple of friends. So yeah, without further ado, I think that we have touched mostly all of the topics that we were planning to touch today. Yeah. It's been a pleasure to be with all of you. I hope that you have enjoyed this, and I'm sure that you're gonna enjoy all the material, all the posts that we're gonna be sharing with you throughout these days before our, the 17th, and after as well, the 17th of September, when it's gonna be our first podcast. Something as well, please make sure to give us a like, to share with the people that you consider that would like this type of topics, and to follow us in Instagram and YouTube. Eva, awesome. Do you have anything to add?
I just feel the love right now. Yeah. Talking about how we met and stuff really reminded me of how we've grown and why we're doing this. So thank you. Perfect.
So hopefully you have enjoyed, and this is Zoila and Eva on Guided 888. See you next time, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.